Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Browns preseason finale recap show. We'll also talk about the Guardians as well and other Major League Baseball scores. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. It is a NFL trivia question. Who has thrown for the most rushing yards of all time? And I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, uh, it was Geno Smith's brief preseason cameo, only added to the anticipation of what he might be able to do in Seattle's offense when the games start counting. Smith dazzled his only series of the preseason, throwing a 21-yard touchdown pass to DK Metcalf to help the Seahawks beat uh, our Browns for 37-33 on Saturday night. This past Saturday in the preseason finale. Uh, Made some great throws, seemed decisive, but the plan was to do a couple of series. But I think we saw enough after I think the good five plays Seattle coach Mike McDonald said. Both teams played starters sparingly, and some like Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson were spectators all night long, leaving backups to play the bulk of the preseason finale for both teams. Smith had watched from the sideline for Seattle's first two uh, preseason games, but finally got a little on-field taste of the offense under new coordinator Ryan Grubb. Smith was 4 or 5 passing for 62 yards on his only drive after missing his first throw. Smith connected on his next four, including a 25-yard strike to Jackson Smith, uh, Najiba, and the TD throw to Metcalf. Uh, Kenny McIntosh in a battle for the number 3 running back spot on Seattle's roster popped a 56-yard touchdown run that included an open field stiff arm of Cleveland safety Chase Williams. I definitely had it in my bag, but there's one. But that's one of the things assistant coach Kennedy uh, Palamalu emphasizes is on the little things. Those are one of the little things we always work on. It's stiff arming. Uh, McIntosh said. Injury prone wide receiver D. Eskridge, excuse me, may have given himself a fleeting chance of making the 53-man roster, flashing the speed and elusiveness that once made him a second-round pick when he traversed the field on a 79-yard punt return touchdown for Seattle, and which was a safety net was 2-1. Sam Howell was 6 of 9 for 45 yards in relief of Smith, but had a 73-yard TD pass to Cody White called back by a penalty. Jason Myers looked ready for the regular season with field goals of 58, 51, and 47 yards. While Jameson Winston played the first two series at quarterback for Cleveland, he was now 0-3. They are now 0-3 in the preseason before giving away to Dorian Thompson Robinson for the rest of the first half. Thompson Robinson was 11 of 20 for 115 yards and a 46-yard TD pass to Jamari Thrash. Tyler Huntley played the second half and was 17 of 22 for 146 yards and 3 TDs. Huntley hit Michael Woods the second on TDs of 12 and 17 yards. The second with 8 seconds left. Everything is tough. Every decision is tough, and that's a good roster. That's a good problem to have when when you have tough decisions to make. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski said. Watson was among a significant number of Brown starters who watched the preseason finale from the sideline. Joe Bitonio, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and Greg Newsome II were among the Cleveland starters who watched. Hopefully, we'll get some of them playing on week one because we're going to need them. Because I want us to win that season opener and start out 1-0. We're going back to the playoffs. We're going to make a deep run this time. We are. We're going to make adjustments. We got all the tools we need. And that's the main focus right here. We got all the tools that we need to win a Super Bowl. Stefanski said Watson wanted to play, but decided with the number of offensive starters sitting out to have his starting quarterback QB join them. Just didn't feel like it would be the best to put him in out there in this setting. Stefanski said, very confident in the amount of work that he's gotten to date throughout the spring and summer, and he'll be ready to roll week one. We're not sure if he's going to play, but hopefully he will be ready to go when week one gets here on Sunday, September 8th. Five starters are on Cleveland's defense: Shelby Harris, Zadarius Smith, Devin Bush, Grant Delpit, and Jawan Thornhill saw a little bit of action in the first quarter before giving away to reserves. The bulk of Seattle's starting defense saw just one series of action, and their departure may have been uh, uh, hastened by outside linebacker Uchenna Noswu getting shaken up with a knee injury on the fourth play of the game. Noswu was hurt on a chop block when he got cut by Wyatt Teller. At the same time, he was blocked. He was blocked high by Jerome Ford. Noswu sat on the bench most of the first half before walking into the locker room. He missed most of last season with a torn uh, pe- pectoral pectoral muscle. While Norswell appeared to be okay, the Seahawks watched backup cornerback Artie Burns taken to the locker room on a cart with an apparent left foot ankle injury. Burns wasn't going to be a starter, but was expected to be an important depth piece for Seattle's secondary. McDonald said they should know more about Noswell and Burns in the next few days. Cleveland's running back Deonta Foreman left in the first half with a rib injury and did not return. Foreman suffered a scary neck injury earlier in training camp. Quarterback Justin Hardy was evaluated for a concussion in the second half. Cleveland linebacker Winston Reed was ejected in the second quarter after being flagged for an unnecessary roughness penalty. Reed appeared to lead with his helmet on a hit to Seattle wide receiver Esop Winston Jr. Browns' regular season opener is Sunday, September 8th at home against Dallas. And that will be the season premiere of Scott Sports 101. And I'll begin my ninth season of that. And in week two, when we play the Jacksonville Jaguars, I will be live at the Murphy House, the home of my really good friends, Matt and Katie Murphy. And my special guest will be my really good friend, Matt Murphy. So I'm looking forward to that for week two. But I will have a big season premiere on Sunday, September 8th. And I'm looking forward to it. And stay tuned for that. And Seattle's regular season opener September 8th is at home against Denver. So hopefully the Browns can beat Dallas and but the Browns lose 37-33 in their preseason finale, and they go 0-3 on the preseason. But I give Geno Smith a game ball and DK Metcalf and McIntosh, and I want to give the Browns players game balls too because they did play better. It's time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who has thrown for the most rushing yards of all time. And if you said Emmett Smith, you are correct. Emmett Smith with 18,355 career rushing yards. He has thrown for the most yards of all time. I have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And with this finale week, Indianapolis beat Cincinnati 27-14 in their finale on Thursday. And also on Thursday, the Bears beat KC 31-21 in their preseason finale. There were 3 games on Friday. Jacksonville blanked Atlanta 31-0. Tampa Bay beat Miami 24-14. Las Vegas Raiders tied, and they had to be, I think it was weather. They tied at 20-24 and in their finale. And then on Saturday, Carolina beat Buffalo 31-26. Miami all over Philadelphia 26-3. Houston beat the Rams by 2, 17-15. Green Bay all over Baltimore 30-7 in their preseason finale. The Detroit Lions beat Pittsburgh 24-17. The Los Angeles Chargers beat the Dallas Cowboys 26-19. The New York Jets beat the New York Giants 10-6. And on Sunday, to round out the preseason, the Tennessee Titans beat New Orleans 30-27. The Denver Broncos beat the Arizona Cardinals 38-12, walloped them. And the Washington Commanders beat the New England Patriots 20-10. Now, when we get to week 1, Thursday Night Football will kick it off. Baltimore Ravens play the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. And I will have Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football to kick it off, to kick off the NFL season for week 1. And that'll be one of my season premieres. And then we have a special Friday night game. I didn't know it was going to be one on Friday this year. And so I will do one for Friday then. It will be the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. And that game will be on Peacock, the Thursday night one on NBC. And on Sunday, as we get the early games, that'll be my season premiere day. Pittsburgh is in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Arizona is in Buffalo to take on the Bills. Tennessee is in Chicago to take on the Bills. The Patriots are in Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals. The Texans are in Indianapolis to take on Joe Flacco and the Indianapolis Colts. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in Miami to take on the Dolphins. Carolina is in New Orleans to take on the Saints. Minnesota is in East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the Giants. And in the late games, the Raiders are in Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. The Denver Broncos are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks, as I mentioned. Dallas is coming to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Washington is in Tampa to take on the Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. And Sunday Night Football, week 1 on NBC, will be the Rams are in Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. And Monday Night Football, week 1, to round out week 1, that will be the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers. And that will be at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. And so, and so I just wanted to just mention that. And I want to get just to briefly to the Guardians real quick before I sign off here. Let's see what we, let's see. They played a doubleheader today, and the Royals beat us tonight 9-4. And I want to just see what we did in the first game today because I want to find out. And the Royals beat us both games today. They won 4-3 and 9-4 over the Guardians today. It just did not bode well. In the first game, the Guardians had a 2-0 lead in the second, but then KC broke it open, and then they had a 3-2 lead, and then it was uh, 4-2, and that's as close as they got in the first game. And in this second game, uh, it just did not bode well again for the Guardians. Uh, and it just did not bode well for the Guardians in that second game. And it did not go well. And Stephen voted the Guardians had a tough day as they lost. The Tribe lost to the Guardians had led in the American League Central. Lead in the American League Central is now once again down to just one game. So we got to start winning series, boys. This league could very well turn into a tie tomorrow night against the Kansas City Royals, and took both of the doubleheaders with Cleveland on Monday. Stephen Voigt talked to the media following the game and admitted it was a rough day for the team. We're still in a good place. Obviously, we need to play better, and they do. And obviously, we need to be more consistent, said Boyd on Monday. We know we night, and we know that we've shown signs all throughout the year that we can do it. And I think for us, it was a tough day. And rewind 24 hours ago, we were playing really well, and today we got beat twice. First game, and we just didn't get a big hit in the second game. We got beat pretty good. Excuse me. And Voigt's message to the team hasn't changed. He continues to preach that they can get caught up in the bigger picture. It's all about showing up each day ready to play. So for me, it's stay the course. Keep doing what we're doing. We've got to flight, and we're going to to fight every single day. And all of our guys, we're going to show up, and we are going to fight. That's what we do. That's who we are. And Voigt said that he hasn't talked to the team or addressed them in any way in the midst of their slump. He believes the team knows what they need to do to get back on track and is confident they'll come ready to play on Tuesday. Uh, they are pros. They know what they have to do. They know it was a tough day, and they are going to come out ready to play tomorrow. That's who they are. It's who they have been all year. Every time we have a tough day, they come back ready to win. This group's not going to get discouraged. It's not in their DNA. Cleveland's third game of this four-game series with the Royals is on Wednesday evening at 6:40. We'll see if the Guardians still have sole possession of the AL Central following that game. So it was a tough day for the Guardians, nonetheless. And that was a story I just read to you from Sports Illustrated, and it sure was a tough day for the Guardians, no doubt. And well, that's just about going to wrap it up. I don't have time to give any major league scores, so I will give them on my next podcast. You'll get them. So I don't have time to do it today, but there were, I know, some major league games today. Uh, but that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of the Scout Sports 101 Browns preseason finale recap show. And I'll be back later this week and this weekend with another podcast. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.